Hold on. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Wait, do I hear something? Can you guys hear me at all? No. No? Wait, I think. Oh, wait, I do see something. The volume is low. Why is the volume so low? Why am I repeating? Restart. But you can hear me. Oh my God, this is so weird. I don't know what's happening. I really don't know what's happening. Okay. This is bad, y'all. This is bad. Okay, testing, testing. Why am I repeating? Okay, as long as you guys can hear me, I don't really care. Self out of my ear and I'll just pretend. Hi, everybody. Hi. 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 No, well, I'm thank God because I hear repeat on my end. Like, I don't understand what's happening. I really don't, guys. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's somehow I thought it was the computer port, and it is. That's one problem. I can't get my. Oh, I'm playing out of. God, this is so weird. Anyway, wow. I'm just my complete system is falling apart. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why. I don't know why it is. But I can't do anything. I can't like nothing seems to like somehow like overnight something changed in my settings and it's not even that. I don't I think it's like a bad port or something. Maybe it's better if I put on earphones. Wait, can you hear? Cuz I can. Oh my god, it's playing out in the speaker. Seems okay for everyone else here, so maybe my computer is ill. Well, patch into the old CCP. Maybe I should. The password is potato. It's potato. Anyway, good morning. Ah, this might be a short show. A lot. I'm up to a lot. You hear me? Thank God, great. Okay, I'm gonna have to like. I know. I need some kind of. I don't know what to do. And here's the thing. Can I tell you? I'm having kind of a bad time right now, and I know people will make fun of me for that. But the reason I'm having a hard time right now is because um I can't find my keys. I came home from No Kings and I put all my stuff somewhere. What am I all dressed up for? Sweatshirt. Okay, is this thing on? Okay, what about that? Hear me somewhat. Okay, am I? Where's the microphone that I'm talking into? Where's the microphone I'm talking into? Smoke a doobie. Yeah, I know. It's not gonna fix it though. Mwah. It's okay. Hi, gal. Hi. Yeah. What are you? Let's see. Maybe it's better if I put on earphones. Morning. Good morning, Scott and Easley and Neil and Lee. And good morning, gal. Mr. Spock. Got to go have a great day. Yeah. Sounds good. Now I sound clearer. Okay. Oh, and then all of a sudden it's. Oh my god. I don't even know what's happening. Maybe. Is this repeat in my ear? It does repeat in my ear. Okay, that's fine. I don't know. Something is really broken. That's all I've got to say. Something is really broken. And I don't know what it is. And I'm not sure if this microphone is what it needs to be, but that's okay. Good morning. Hi Tammy. How are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, I can hear a repeat, but that's okay. We're gonna deal with it. As long as you guys don't hear the repeat, I'm fine with it. I just don't want you to have to put up with it. Please and thank you. Um, little air, please. Please and there we go. Just a little tiny bit. Okay, so good morning. Oh, good morning. You had to hurt up here. I know. I can't seem to get I'm gonna have to like speak very loudly into my microphone, which is so weird. But anyway, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, dear friends. Good morning. Oh my God, turn me down. Up, up, up. That actually turns me way down. Good morning, dear friends. How are you? Oh my God, I do have to turn it up that way. Oh my God, I don't want to hear myself. Can I not hear myself? Excellent. I had to unplug my headphones. Now that was loud. Oh my God, sorry. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Sorry, 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 sorry. Oh my God. I don't know what to say, you guys. Something has really, this is like a critical failure in my system, and I am not very happy about it, but this is what we have. This is what happens. I'm sorry though. I don't want to kill your ears, Tammy, for sure. Um so good morning. Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a better Thursday than I am. But anyway, so my story is that I came home from yeah, bong rips. I wish. I would like to have a bong. I need to go get a bong. Actually, that's a great idea, Mr. Spock. The minute I find my keys and my wallet, which are attached to each other, I came home from the fucking protest on Saturday and I literally must have thrown my keys somewhere. And I must not have needed them since then. I don't know. But I literally cannot find my keys and my wallet, which are like attached. And it's been like 4 days. Well, almost 7. It's been like 5 days. I'm really upset. I've had a really bad like week, especially. And this is like this stuff kills me. Like this stuff kills me. St. Anthony. Yeah, and I've been trying to do like, invoke kind of like well, I'm looking for things. I'm like the finder of lost things. And sometimes I am the finder of lost things. Like sometimes I can really really do that well. Water brings bongs cut down tar by 33%. Oh, well, I definitely need to do that then, Mr. Spock. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. After bad comes good, easily from your mouth to fucking God's ears, because I could use a little bit of good news. I'm going to tell you right now. I could use one of those good news moments. But that's the way it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Oh, well. Sucks to suck. That's okay. Anyway, it's really good to see everyone. You know how much I love this. Shouldn't buy computers from Pete Hegseth's Pentagon surplus. Yeah, Neil. Fucking Pete Pig's breath sold me a bad computer, bitch. First you ask for help, then you have to stop thinking about it so that you can create a space in your brain for the answer. That's a good one. Okay, I'm gonna do that after the because I do I'm like I've looked. I've looked and I'm going to tell you, I don't know what the fuck I did with it. And my fear is that I put it somewhere in a bag and then maybe put trash in the bag. I don't know. I have no idea, but I don't think I did. I don't know. I guess I need either like I need like a simple life with much more like I don't know. I don't know what I need. You know what I need? I need, dear Saint Anthony, come around. Something is lost and can't be found. Yeah. The flashlight trick sounds weird, but it's worked for me before. Help focus. I'm going to try that too, Lee. I think that's a great idea. Check the refrigerator. I am going to check the refrigerator. It might be there. You don't know. It might be there. It might. Anyway, good morning. Man, fucking fucks. Fuckity fuck. Fucky fuck. But anyway, we're here and we're everyone's relatively healthy, I think, in some small way. Hopefully. I don't want to say that too loud because obviously that's not the case for everyone. I'm just gonna work and lurk a bit. All right, Carla, my darling. Just put me in your ear, darling. I put milk in my cabinet already. Well, Tammy, I could do that too very easily. So I'm never gonna judge. I'm never gonna judge you. Ever. Well, it's gonna be a real interesting show today, kids, because Mama clearly pissed somebody off in the world. And now that somebody really just wants to fuck with me constantly. Ah. Anyway, but it's nice to be here. And it's almost the weekend, and that's kind of nice. The weekend's nice. And I am looking forward to the weekend. Let's see. Kash Patel holds briefing. That's at 7. What? Okay, well, we're gonna definitely check in on good old Kash Patel. He arrested an NBA coach and player? For what? Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier. Wait, I gotta look at stupid Steve. Arrested in gambling probe. Oh my god. Oh my god. My feelings post has received a ton of engagement. Guess we're not alone in the shit. Yes, it has received a lot. It's very I thought that was a very good post. In fact, I will put it up on the screen because if you hadn't seen it, take a look at the post that Gal put in there. Wait, hold on, just let me pull this up. Beep 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 beep. Great post and good comments too. Yeah, absolutely, Jay Rance. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Jay Bird. The world says hello. Yeah, so it's her post. Oh shit. Well, that's her account, which is awesome. It's as if it's as if we're all watching moment by moment thinking that something is going to give. Someone will stop this. It's so true. That's exactly, I think, how I'm feeling. Every headline, every notification continues to normalize the destruction. Thank you. Oh my God. None of this is normal. They won't stop. They must be stopped. That was so well said. That was so well said. So, yes. Yes, ma'am. That's true. What does it take for the military to arrest the executive? Is that possible? Every resignation gives me hope. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm very curious. I don't think did the forgive me for not knowing this, but did the guy who was the head of SOCOM or whoever just resigned in protest, was he weird? Hold on, I'm gonna just slightly have to look at my dirty door. Did he write a did he write that's what it's going to be. It's going to be our new General Washington. I just wonder if he did he write a big expose of why he left? Chauncey Billups was a Detroit Piston. Oh, okay. I'm still catching up, but you sound perfect. What happened? You lost your No, it definitely I got in my house. I remember I would have gotten into my house and that would have been the last time I saw the keys. So they're somewhere in here, but I'm going to tell you right now, I live in like a filthy house. So it's very overwhelming and I don't know where everything is. Yes, I know Gal did and I just can't recall. I have to find that. I'll find that piece. I think the military can only follow orders from the commander in chief and they can only follow legal. Well, they can. I guess there's a process. I get New York Times and Washington Post notifications all day long, and every single one is just horror and devastation of corruption. And let me look at this. And treason. It weighs on me. By 4 p.m. I'm yeah, it's really it's too much. It's too much. It's and I know that it Russ Vogt wants that by design. Stephen Miller wants that by design. Milk in the cabinet. So I mean all of that is again by design. By design. So it is really hard. It's just hard to be a human these days, right? It's really, really fucking hard. Easily said they don't have to follow illegal orders. I guess it's just hard to determine. I mean, I'm sure they know, but it's hard to know what is an illegal order. Like, that's what I would want to know. What is an illegal order? I have no idea what that really means. And I think I would want to know that. I don't know. I don't know. I think I would. But yeah, Gal, you're absolutely right. Um, let's see. Where's Cash Patel? Oh, wait. Okay, he's playing. See, this is why I don't know what everything's happening. Okay, that's unmuted. I'm gonna have to mute myself when he starts talking. Do people don't really understand how that works in the military chain of command? That's the problem. And that yeah, see that's the thing. I have no idea what is appropriate for the military to do and what is inappropriate. This is an unprecedented constitutional crisis. Ugh, I don't want to hear that, Gal, especially from someone who knows the military. So, Gal, keep that to yourself from now on. Damn it. Damn it. You were supposed to tell me that this is standard and everybody knows what to do. God damn it. I need everybody to know what to do. Um Anyway, yeah, except during a coup. Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss any big comments here. I just saw a video about how the fake new media is replacing the real press in the Pentagon. Well, I mean they are, Jim, but that's kind of ridiculous. I know. It's the people from Frank TV, Mike Lindell's network. Lindell TV. I don't know what he's calling it these days. He called it like three different things at the same time and literally had websites named the three different names that went to the same website. I don't understand it. But anyway, yes, yes, yes. Well, that's part of the whole autocracy thing is to limit the press exposure to the real story. So that's what's actually happening. It doesn't matter if it's Corinne, it doesn't matter who's in that seat. Um, that's just a symptom of what we're experiencing right now. I need a drop zone by my front door. I have a little table, and yes, it's full of all kinds of stuff I should put away, but also my purse and keys. See, Karen, that is so smart, and I really did. But here's the problem. It's gonna get. I'd leave. It's gonna get bad real quick. I know. I, I do have a place to put my keys and stuff, but I think when I came in from protesting my brain is like turned off and I can't remember where I put my keys. So it's just being old, I think. I think it's just being old. Anyway, this is my concern right now. No. 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 Oh wait, I wanted to show you guys what I'm playing. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Oh my god, where am I? Okay, this is not I don't want that. Okay, you got to go away. You got to go away. You got to go away. Okay. Oh, I hate this computer. I really fucking do. I checked in the dino suit, Mr. Spock. You're so smart. I checked in the dino suit. I think it's just my brain turned off in that moment. I was really in a lot of pain. And I was exhausted. And I think my brain takes vacations when I am in that mode. So there you go. I don't know. They've got to be somewhere in here. I hope to God I didn't throw them away inadvertently because that's everything. That's my ID. It's my cards. It's everything, and I'm really upset about it. I really want to leave my house. That's what I really want. And I'm lucky my doctor's appointment was moved because otherwise, I don't know. I should actually tell. Yeah. Anyway, I'll figure that out. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to show you something. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Why isn't that playing? I'm a little concerned about that. Fuck, man. You guys are fucking with me. You're fucking with me. Stop fucking with me. Okay, I'm going to do something a little spicy here. I'm going to tell you right now. I wish it was a hell of a time to stop drinking. That's what I'll say. so my mother used to always say, hell of a time to stop drinking. No, 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 no. I went through one garbage. I haven't gone through the other one. Oh, wait, what happened? That's not it. No, 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 no. That's not the screen. Oh, it's because I took the screen away. Okay, I understand. There it is. There it is. Committee. Looking for committees. Looking for committees. So that is playing. I don't really know. That means it's going to play. Boy. Oh, Jesus Christ on a motherfucking Kroger. I hate everything. I hate everything. I just want to go to a mountaintop and sit on the mountaintop and just be alone. If I have to be alone, I'd rather be alone in a pretty place. Ay, ay, ay. What a life. Kids, don't make the mistakes I've made in my life. You'll end up alone and crazy. You don't want to end up alone and crazy. Can you guys hear it at all? Can you hear him talk at all? Yeah, too late. No? Okay. You know what? I can't fight with this anymore. I can't. I just can't fight. I can't. I just can't fight.
Good. Yep.
You guys.
Good. Yep.
You got an announcement?
Good. Yep.
You got an announcement?
Good. Yep.
You got an announcement?
Good. Yep. Yep.
You got an announcement?
Good. Yep. Yep.
You got an Oh, wait, that's playing too.
Okay. One for me, you, Tanya, and Ted.
Hey guys, good morning. So this news conference is set to begin any moment here with FBI Director Kash Patel and Joe Nacella, the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York. And we're going to learn a lot more about these arrests that have happened across the country this morning. 31 people facing charges and some big names. You mentioned big NBA names with Chauncey Billups, the current coach of the Portland Trailblazers, and an NBA Hall of Famer back for his playing career, as well as active NBA player Terry Rozier and a former NBA player and coach Damon Jones. Those are the big names right now that we're tracking. But Rozier, we know, was under federal investigation related to a game back in 2023 when he played for the Charlotte Hornets. There was unusual betting activity for the under on his points, rebounds, and assists in a game that ended up leaving with a foot injury after about 10 minutes. We do have a statement from our colleague David Spun from Rozier's lawyer that reads, quote, "It is unfortunate that instead of allowing him to self-surrender, they opted for a photo op," talking about the feds. They wanted the misplaced glory of embarrassing a professional athlete with a perp walk. That tells you a lot about the motivations of this case. Now, the lawyer added that Terry Rozier is not a gambler, and they look forward to engaging in this fight. This is also similar to a case that we saw last year play out with
they're all off camera. They're all off
former
camera.
player for the Toronto Raptors who received a lifetime ban for altering his performance to facilitate these prop bets that Bill was talking about last hour, where people bet on the performance of an individual player rather than the result of the game. But this is quite different because Jonte Porter, not that it's ever okay, but he was a minor contributor in the NBA, whereas Terry Rozier is a very good player and has been a fringe all-star at different points in his career. Chauncey Billups, the head coach of the Trailblazers, obviously has had a storied career as well. So this is huge news in the sports world. Lots of fans are concerned about the integrity of the game, as they have been just 2 days ago. And
if you go to our Discord, Lee dropped an article from the local paper
regarding
because she
sports
lives in
gambling.
Michigan.
And I should add
arrest,
that the Chauncey Billups allegations, we're told at this point, are related to a poker scheme involving the Italian-American mafia. So it looks like this is about to get going pretty quickly. We'll send it back to you guys.
You know what, Mr. Spock? Weed does solve all the problems.
Good morning, everybody. We're going to start in 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
I just want to go over a couple of things with you. I can go over with you the order of speakers. The U.S. Attorney is going to speak first and welcome everyone. That's U.S. Attorney Joseph Nocella. Then FBI Director Kash Patel will speak. He will then turn the podium over back to U.S. Attorney Nocella, who will go over a detailed summary of both indictments. Following U.S. Attorney Nocella, it will be FBI Assistant Director in Charge Christopher Raya, R-A-I-A. He's in charge of the FBI's New York field office.
Hi, Jane.
He will be followed by Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent in Charge Ricky Patel.
So sorry, Mr. Spock.
And after
about,
Ricky Patel, Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch will deliver remarks.
Okay.
There will be
Anyways,
some other people standing up here at the podium who will not have speaking roles. You may recognize some of them. It'll be Chief of Detectives Joe Kenny will be up here, but he will not make remarks.
Kash Patel is role
Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent in Charge Mike McCarthy from Newark will be standing up here also.
Yes,
and the
Grace
Executive
Lisa.
Director
I've heard, boy,
of the
Candace
Waterfront
Owen is
Commission,
all over that shit.
Phoebe
She's
Sorial
all
will also
over
be
that
up here
shit.
but not make remarks.
They're
The U.S.
eating
Attorney
each
is
other
going to
alive.
introduce
the Charlie
them in
Kirk
his
thing
welcoming
did
remarks.
not work.
We will take some questions after all of the speakers have finished speaking.
Listen, nobody gives a shit.
We're not going
about
to take
you,
any
sir.
off-topic questions.
Oh,
We're just
fuck
taking
you.
questions on the two indictments
are
here
you?
today.
Yeah,
The indictments are unsealed right now, so
Oh my God.
we have copies of the. Well, it looks
I
like
haven't seen
it looks
the
like most
videos.
of them are gone now, but there were copies of
Chauncey
the
is the coach
indictments
of the Portland
and the
Trailblazers.
detention letter
Oh,
on that
that's
table.
interesting.
And I'm going to email them out to everyone on our media
That's
list
interesting.
as well.
I wonder why.
You will see that in the detention letter, which is the organized crime
Oh my God.
case, the rigged poker game case, there are pictures in that filing. You're free to use the pictures that are in the filing, or if you want JPEG copies of the pictures, we've put them in a Dropbox. So if you want the JPEG
Dropbox?
versions of those pictures, send
Is that
me an
where you
email,
store a lot of your
and I'll send you an
evidence?
invitation to the Dropbox, so you'll have access. You can then download those pictures, okay? And as to probably two of the defendants here that are getting the most media interest, Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier, they're going to appear in federal courts in the districts where they were arrested. Terry Rozier will be appearing in federal court in Orlando, Florida, sometime this afternoon. I can't tell you precisely, but sometime around 1 or 2 o'clock. Chauncey Billups in federal court in Portland. I don't know approximately what time that would be. They will both be arraigned on their indictments. They're in separate indictments, but they'll be arraigned on their indictments here in Brooklyn at a future date. The defendants that were arrested here in our area will be arraigned across the street sometime this afternoon. I believe there's about 31 people in custody, and there will be some who will self-surrender. So that's where things stand right now. Okay, so I'm going to go get the speakers, and we'll start in a couple of minutes, okay? Anybody have any questions?
Yeah. Yes, Jim, they're picking and choosing.
It's John,
That is correct.
John, dot Marzulli, Marzulli, at usdoj.gov. Thank you. Okay, see you in a couple of minutes. Can you spell your last name again? Marzulli.
Was the 5 minutes inclusive of what you took, sir? Just asking. Is this something you should care about? I don't know. I don't know. No, probably not. But it's an abuse of power. Probably. I think you guys are super guilty, and like this is a super important crime we have to crack down on. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. Next time I will I will shake the kitty treats. Oh wait, is there a kitty? Is there a kitty missing? J Rance, where are you? Someone off camera. J Rance, is your baby? Stay safe, Badger. Oh, Badger, are you? The smell of corruption in the morning. I'm off to feed a few feral cats. You guys are coming along. Sweet. I love feral cats. Good morning, Teresa. Might depend on who the other people in custody are. Finally, something being done about corruption. Exactly. This is crucial. Crucial, I tell you. Crucial. Does that sound good? That sounds good. Does that sound good? I should do something productive for you while we're sitting here. Let me see if I
On January 5th, 2020.
Well, I'll do this while.
No pressure.
I just wanted to show you this. This is something, of course, you've all heard me complain about, I think, if you've seen me post. But I'm very upset about the machines. In case you missed it, Dominion Voting has been acquired by Scott Leinenbecker, a former GOP election official from Missouri. Leinenbecker is also the CEO of electronic poll book supplier, Knowing, whose product manager, Mitch Millville, was Ed Martin's campaign IT director in Missouri in 2011. This Ed Martin. The Trump campaign, Jenny's such a good researcher, reporter. The Trump campaign has chosen Schlafly Eagles president Ed Martin, Roger Stone's good friend, who co-led Stop the Steal with Ali Alexander, to co-lead the RNC's platform committee. Martin blew off his Jan 6 committee subpoena, and he also runs America's Future with Mike Flynn. Oh, shocker. Anyway, so I thought that was interesting. I'm going to read this more in detail, but it shows the connections. Ed Martin's former IT director, Mitch Millville, is the project manager for Knowing, America's largest vendor of e-poll books, which are the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth-connected check-in computers used for in-person voting. Oops. Okay, he's starting. All right. Shh. Hi. Nobody looks so somber. Ooh, the foothills are foggy this morning. It's so lovely. Oh, Grace Lisa, that's so nice. I love that. Everybody proud of yourselves? Oh my God, he's not even wearing a suit. He's not even wearing a suit. Everyone, he's wearing hiking boots. What the fuck is happening? Did he just get off the mountain? What the happened? Whose birthday? Kevin, happy birthday! Oh my God, it's your birthday today.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Joseph Nocella. I am the United States Attorney for the Eastern District of New York. I'd like to welcome you here today. In addition, we have with us today FBI Director Kash Patel, FBI Assistant Director in Charge Christopher Rea of the New York Field Office, Special Agent in Charge of the New York Field Office Leslie Bakshi's, New York Special Agent in Charge of Homeland Security Ricky Patel, Newark Special Agent in Charge of Homeland Security Michael McCarty, Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, Chief of Detectives Joseph Kenney, and the Executive Director of the Waterfront Commission, Phoebe Sorrell. I'm now going to turn the podium over to FBI Director Kash Patel.
Good morning. Today we are here in New York to announce a historic arrest across a wide-sweeping criminal enterprise that envelops both the NBA and La Casa Nostra. The men and women up here standing with me represent a small portion of the leadership team that brought profound justice in an era that needed it more than any. I'll just highlight some of the details in the case and the FBI work, and then you'll hear from the others. But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today, former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchesi crime families. And you'll hear more about those details today. The charges and the arrests that were taken down across this country range from wire fraud, money laundering, extortion, robbery, illegal gambling. This FBI will leave no room for any perpetrator of crime across this country. You hear a lot about our work of defending the homeland and crushing violent crime. Well, this work is also representative of a colossal portion of the FBI's mandate to keep America safe and to keep our entertainment industry fair and secure. The men and women that are standing up here today worked tireless hours, days, months, and years. And the fraud is mind-boggling. It's not hundreds of dollars. It's not thousands of dollars. It's not tens of thousands of dollars. It's not even millions of dollars. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars in fraud and theft and robbery across a multi-year investigation. And we could not have done it without our interagency partners that are before us today. The NYPD, HSI, and teams of law enforcement officials from around the country made this day possible. It takes a team to bring this kind of justice, sweeping justice, into the halls of the United States courtrooms, where our brave United States attorney has led this prosecution. It takes courageous prosecutors to stand before you and say, we will not allow this kind of illicit activity to happen, not only at the national sporting level, but also where it hides in La Cosa Nostra. And when these two collided together, they perpetrated a fraud.
Okay, it's not La Casa Nostra. Okay, it's La Cosa Nostra. I just can't. He doesn't even know the references that he's trying to invoke to act like he's fucking a G-man, right? I'm surprised they didn't just rename it the Department of G-men. Yeah, then who did the actual work? Badger says if it was a multi, is it his thing too? Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. The Casa Nostra? What's the Casa Nostra? What would that be then? Oh, forget it.
That is historic in terms of not just money, but the scheme and the deceit that they utilize to steal and swindle people for money, to include crypto fraud. This is an operation that showcases to you that under President Trump's administration, there is no room for any type of criminal behavior, be it on the world's largest stage or in the back rooms of tiny parlors where card games are being played. We are proud to stand here today with the men and women of the FBI and this legal team. And to the United States Attorney, I just want to thank you personally for taking the time to display the work that the media is about to hear about today in detail. As I said, it does take courageous prosecutors, but it takes a courageous United States Attorney to bring this case, because we are going to take heat for it. But we don't shy away in this administration. We don't say no. What we do is we bring the results across the finish line. We bring them to the public. We bring you accountability. And yes, they will have their day in court, and you will hear the evidence through the court system exclusively. We will not deny anyone of due process. And that's the brilliance of this system. That's the brilliance of this administration. Everyone will be held to account. So with that, I turn it over to United States Attorney Nosella. Thank you.
Well, that Adderall is really rough.
Thank you, Director Patel. To be clear, we're announcing today indictments in two major cases, both involving fraud. One involves sports betting, and the other involves illegal gambling, very specifically rigged poker games. The first indictment involves 6 defendants.
Wait a minute. We're talking about poker games? We're talking about, hi, bye, Neil. Have a good appointment, sweetie. I'll see you. We're talking about poker games? Excuse me? Okay.
Who are alleged to have participated in one of the most brazen sports corruption schemes since online sports betting became widely legalized in the United States. This scheme is an insider sports betting conspiracy that exploited confidential information about National Basketball Association athletes and teams. The second indictment involves 31 defendants alleged to have participated in a nationwide scheme to rig illegal poker games. These defendants, which include former professional athletes, used high-tech cheating technology to steal millions of dollars from victims in underground poker games that were secretly fixed. The games in the New York area were backed by the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese crime families of La Cosa Nostra. While the cases are separate, there are 3 overlapping defendants charged in both cases: Damon Jones, Eric Ernest, and Shane Hennon. The indictments in these cases contain only allegations, and the defendants are presumed innocent until they are proven guilty in a court of law. But my message to the defendants who've been rounded up today is this: your winning streak has ended. Your luck has run out. Violating the law is a losing proposition, and you can bet on that. First, I would like to talk about United States versus Ernest, the NBA basketball gambling case. The defendants in this case are Eric Ernest, Marvez Farley, Shane Hennon, De Niro Laster, Damon Jones, a former NBA player and coach, and Terry Rozier, a current NBA player. Other co-conspirators were previously charged for their roles in the scheme, including former NBA player Jonte Porter. Between December 2022 and March 2024, these defendants perpetrated a scheme to defraud by betting on inside, non-public information about NBA athletes and teams. The non-public...
Is that similar, perhaps, sir, to a situation where a president might be able to control stock markets with his announcements, and people go in and buy, or short or do whatever based on what he's going to say? And what if that president also was part of multiple rug pulls for meme coins? I mean, would you think that was a criminal enterprise? Would you conclude that in your list of thingies? I don't know.
Public information included when specific players would be sitting out future games, or when they would pull themselves out early for purported injuries or illnesses. They relied on corrupt individuals, including Jones and Rozier. They also misused information obtained through long-standing friendships that they had with NBA players and coaches. And in at least one instance, they got their information by threatening a current player, Porter, because of his pre-existing gambling debts. Defendants used this non-public information to place hundreds of thousands of dollars in fraudulent bets, mostly in the form of prop bets on individual player performance. The bets were placed through online sports books and also in person at casinos. The defendants relied on a network of straw bettors to place the maximum amount of bets to increase their potential profits. Most of these bets succeeded, and the intended losses were in the millions of dollars. The defendants then laundered their illegal winnings in various ways: peer-to-peer platforms, bank wires, and simple cash exchanges. The indictment details specific examples where the defendants profited from illegal gambling and illegal betting on various NBA games about the performance of players on, among other things, the Charlotte Hornets, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Toronto Rangers. Each defendant in the NBA basketball gambling case has been charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Now, I would like to turn to the other case, United States versus Aiello, the rigged poker game case. Beginning as early as 2019, the defendants in this case orchestrated a scheme to use wireless cheating technology to run rigged poker games across the United States, including in the Hamptons, Las Vegas, Miami, and Manhattan. The scheme targeted victims known as, quote, fish, who were often lured to participate in these rigged games by the chance to play alongside former professional athletes who were known as, quote, face cards. The so-called face cards included the defendant Chauncey Billups, who at the time of the scheme was a former NBA player and is currently the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, and also Damon Jones, a former NBA player and coach. What the victims, the fish, didn't know is that everybody else at the poker game, from the dealer to the players, including the face cards.
Badger the Canadian says, who the fuck are the Toronto Rangers? I love you, Badge. I'm going to tell you right now. Let me just make a programming note here. If you come to my show here, you need to just read the chat because I am entertained by the chat more than anything about doing these shows. So I just want to shout out the chat because the fucking comedy that's happening is off the hook with you guys this morning. You are on complete fire. And I just want you to know that. I want you to feel good about your performance this morning because my God, you're like the hottest country in the world, basically.
Were in on the scam. Once the game was underway, the defendants fleeced the victims out of tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars per game. The defendants used a variety of very sophisticated cheating technologies, some of which were provided by other defendants in exchange for a share of the profits from the scheme. For example, they used off-the-shelf shuffling machines that had been secretly altered in order to read the cards in the deck, predict which player at the table had the best poker hand, and relay that information to an off-site operator. The off-site operator sent the information via cell phone back to a co-conspirator at the table, and that person at the table was known as the quarterback. The quarterback then signaled secretly the information he had received from others to others at the table, and together they used that information in order to win their games and to cheat the victims. Defendants used other cheating technologies such as poker chip tray analyzers, which is a poker chip tray that secretly reads cards using a hidden camera, special contact lenses or eyeglasses that could read pre-marked cards, and an X-ray table that could read cards face down on the table. What you see depicted on the screen right now is an example of the X-ray table that reveals the cards. Although they are face down on the table, they can be read because of the X-ray technology. The Mafia, specifically members and associates of the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese organized crime families, had pre-existing control over non-rigged, illegal poker games around New York City. As a result, they also became involved in the rigged
Ocean's
poker
11,
games,
gal.
helping to organize the games and taking a cut of the
Ocean's
proceedings,
88.
and working to enforce the collection of debts. The defendants laundered their proceeds, including through cash exchanges, the use of multiple shell companies, and through cryptocurrency transfers. As part of the scheme, some of the defendants and their co-conspirators also committed acts of violence, including the...
Doesn't he know that in those movies that normally the cops end up looking like idiots? Like in all the heist movies, right? All the scam movies, the cops end up being the ones who look like idiots. I don't think Bozo watched the movie in the right mindset. But anyway, how do I get pictures of the X-rays?
gunpoint robbery of a person in order to obtain a rigged shuffling machine, and extortions that were perpetrated against victims in order to ensure that they repaid their gambling debts. Defendants who participated in the rigged poker scheme are charged with wire fraud conspiracy. Other defendants have been charged with crimes including illegal gambling, money laundering, Hobbs Act robbery, and extortions. This case demonstrates our office's unrelenting commitment to fighting the scourge of organized crime in whatever form it takes. I'd like to conclude my remarks by thanking the incredible hard work of our law enforcement partners, including the FBI, Homeland Security, the NYPD, and the Waterfront Commission. I also want to thank the dedicated prosecutors who built these two cases and who are standing to my right. Benjamin Weintraub, David Bourbon, Caitlin Farrell, Michael Gibaldi, Irisa Chen, and Sean Sherman. They had the assistance of paralegal specialists Liam McNett, John Schneider, Marlene
I just want to see
Bosler.
Cash take a question from the New York
Also
press.
deserving of our thanks because of their outstanding investigative work on the NBA case are FBI Special Agents Russell Lantier, Dominic Mariani, Amy
People who haven't been
Giarosa,
fired yet.
Shane Wilkins, and Supervisory Special Agent Luke Hardison. On the rigged poker game scheme, outstanding work was performed by FBI Special Agents Thomas Cribbin, Jeff Boriola, Jonathan Corona, Alexander Silverman, Amy Campanaro,
Look at
and
him
Supervisory
standing there
Special
like a little-
Agent
I
Michael
don't know, what
Malahi,
is that?
as well as NYPD Task Officer James McCullough, and from Homeland Security, Supervisory Special Agent
going on
Charles
with Cash
Freund,
Patel's
and from the
pants?
Waterfront Commission, Detective Paul
What's happening
Shimborsky.
down there?
Finally, I want to note that the investigations in both cases are ongoing, and we encourage anyone with information about either scheme to please contact the FBI. Now I would like to turn the podium over to Special Agent in charge of the New York Field Office, I should say the Assistant Director in charge of the New York Field Office of the FBI, Christopher Rea. Chris?
Wow, that guy and that guy with the ears
All right,
and
thank
the
you,
hair
Joe.
is,
As always, we appreciate the partnership
like
here.
Ichabod Crane.
Can't do any of this without you and your team, so thank you. Also want to publicly
these
thank the
people
director
want
for
their
coming
name
down
out
from
there
D.C.
after
The director's a very
prosecuting a
busy
mafia
person.
ring?
And for him to come down should tell you the importance of this historic case.
It tells me he doesn't have enough.
I'm Christopher
work to do.
Rea, the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI New York Field Office. Today, as you've heard, our office conducted a massive nationwide takedown from 2 indictments of 34 defendants for their alleged involvement in 2 separate illegal poker and sports betting schemes where, as you heard, the odds were rigged in their favor. Among these defendants are 13 members and associates of the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese crime families, to include capos and soldiers from these families. Additionally, as you heard, current and former NBA coaches and players are also implicated, to include Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier. 3 of the named defendants are charged for their alleged roles in both schemes. This alleged illegal gambling operation hustled unwitting victims out of tens of millions of dollars and created a financial pipeline for La Cosa Nostra to help fund and facilitate their organized criminal activity. Victims were attracted to play alongside well-known professional athletes and coaches like Chauncey Billups, only to be unknowingly deceived through rigged shuffling machines, fixing the odds in their favor, as alleged and as you just heard from the U.S. Attorney's Office. This alleged scheme wreaked havoc across the nation, exploiting the notoriety of some and the wallets of many to fund the Italian crime families here in New York. Let me be clear about this fact. The FBI has not and will never take their eye off the ball when it comes to Italian organized crime in this city, specifically the LCN and the 5 families here in New York. We are not going to permit any criminal enterprise, whether it be Italian organized crime, Asian organized crime, Eurasian organized crime. We're not going to permit any of those organized crimes, families, and organizations to operate in our city or our country, as evidenced by the 11 states that were also participating in this operation today. The FBI office here in New York remains committed to eradicating all unlawful revenue streams fueling this criminal activity. As with most cases we've worked, this is only the tip of the iceberg for the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office. Our LCN squad agents and analysts are continuing to work day and night with the Eastern District of New York to ensure members and associates of the 5 families cannot continue to wreak havoc
I'd be
in our
interested in hearing
communities.
from Lincoln's Bible on this.
Today would not have been possible without the tireless efforts and dedication of the FBI New York Eurasian Organized Crime Task Force, which, as you heard, was led by Supervisory Special Agent Luke Hardison, and the Italian Organized Task Force, which was led by Supervisory Special Agent Mike Malahi. And coincidentally, Supervisory Special Agent Malahi is going out on a positive as he is retiring at the end of this month for 30 years of dedicated service to the FBI, and that deserves a hand. He's what we call a legend here at FBI New York. Additionally, obviously, we cannot do this alone without our partners. I want to extend my appreciation to Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent in Charge, Ricky Patel.
About you.
Of course, we do nothing in this city without the NYPD. New York City Police Department Commissioner Jesse Tisch, thank you, ma'am, for all your work and all your resources that you dedicated to this.
You called her
and
Jessie?
New York Waterfront Commissioner Phoebe Soriel for their agency's assistance and support throughout this lengthy and complex investigation. Our collective efforts ensured these subjects will face accountability, like the director said, for their alleged wrongdoings. Thank you, and I'll now turn it over to Special Agent in charge of HSI, Ricky Patel.
Thanks, Chris. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ricky Patel. I'm the Special Agent in charge for Homeland Security Investigations here in New York. This morning, hundreds of special agents and investigators with HSI, the FBI, the New York Waterfront Commission, and the NYPD descended upon the homes of individuals who for years have operated with the false sense of impunity, a false sense of incivility. In the early hours of today, across 9 states, coast to coast, dozens of defendants were arrested and will face the consequences of their alleged crimes.
I'm not sure.
This was their wake-up call. With the alleged involvement of 3 La Cosa Nostra crime families, 1 NBA head coach, a Hall of Famer, no less, and former NBA players, the years of investigative work that culminated with this morning's operation seem reminiscent of a Hollywood movie. But this wasn't luck, and this wasn't theatrics. This was an evidence-driven, relentless, and unified effort among law enforcement. Through what we have dubbed Operation Royal Flush, HSI New York, along with our task force personnel from the Waterfront Commission, first uncovered this scheme more than 4 years ago. Agents and investigators dedicated countless hours and sleepless nights in identifying the criminal network, dissecting communications and patterns, and following the money with precision. We built a case, piece by piece, and what we discovered was a sprawling criminal enterprise that utilized cutting-edge technology and various methods of deception to dupe unsuspecting gamblers into paying up so that these defendants could cash out. As alleged, this sophisticated conspiracy cheated victims out of at least $7 million and placed the public and the defendants alike at risk. This case involved global reach, financial depth, and the patience to dismantle complex financial criminal enterprises from the inside out. When criminal organizations attempt to launder profits through our country, HSI connects the dots and shuts it down. To anyone who thinks intimidation, fraud, or violence will shield their profits, understand this. If you are exploiting our communities, expect HSI and all of our law enforcement partners at your door. I would like to thank all our partners here today. Obviously, the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, the Waterfront Commission, the FBI, the NYPD, and the prosecutors that will carry this forward. Today's arrests are not an endpoint. They are the start of accountability. Thank you, and I now turn it over to Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch.
Good morning. Thank you to Director Patel, Assistant Director Rea, and U.S. Attorney Nocella. What we're announcing today is not just another takedown. It's the result of more than 2 years of coordinated investigative work by the NYPD's Joint Organized Crime Task Force and the FBI. 2 cases that exposed criminal networks led by 34 individuals who believed the rules did not apply to them. They hid behind layers of complexity, behind money, and behind influence, believing those things would shield them from accountability. The first case, Operation Nothing But Bet, exposed a gambling ring built around professional basketball, where players and associates allegedly used inside information to manipulate prop bets on major sports betting platforms. They placed wagers on unders on players to score less, rebound less, assist less, using information that was not yet public. In some instances, players altered their performance or took themselves out of games to make sure that those bets paid out. One example occurred on March 23, 2023, in Charlotte. Terry Rozier, an NBA player now with the Miami Heat, but at the time playing for the Hornets, allegedly let others close to him know that he planned to leave the game early with a supposed injury. Using that information, members of the group placed more than $200,000 in wagers on his under statistics. Rozier exited the game after just 9 minutes, and those bets paid out, generating tens of thousands of dollars in profit. The proceeds were later delivered to his home, where the group counted their cash. As the NBA season tips off, his career is already benched, not for injury, but for integrity. As a result of this investigation, 6 defendants, including Rozier, are now facing conspiracy to commit bank and wire fraud. In a second case, Operation Zen Diagram, investigators uncovered a long-running scheme in which members and associates of several well-known organized crime families rigged high-stakes poker games across the country. These operatives included capos and multiple soldiers from the Bonanno, Gambino, Lucchese, and Genovese crime families. Bringing 4 of the 5 families together in a single indictment is extraordinarily rare. It reflects how deep and how far this investigation reached and the skill and the persistence it took to get here. That work uncovered a deliberate, technologically sophisticated operation designed to carry out their crimes. They used custom shuffling machines that could read the order of cards, barcoded decks, and hidden cameras built into tables and light fixtures. The organizers also enlisted well-known public figures, former and current NBA players and coaches, including Chauncey Billups, the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, an NBA champion and a Hall of Famer, to make the games appear legitimate. Victims believed that they were sitting at a fair table. Instead, they were cheated out of millions. One victim in particular lost $1.8 million. In total,
listen,
losses
if you got
exceeded
$1.8
$7
million
million
to lose,
and
I don't give a
continued
shit.
to climb.
I'm sorry.
And when people refused to pay, these defendants did what organized crime has always done. They used threats, they used intimidation, and they used violence. It's the same pattern that we have seen for decades. Traditional mob enforcement methods combined with new technology to expand the reach of their operations. Now, with the unsealing of today's indictment, 34 individuals are facing charges, including robbery, extortion, money laundering, wire fraud, bank fraud, and illegal gambling. I want to commend the outstanding work of our detectives from the Joint Organized Crime Task Force and their dedication to these cases, especially.
Let me tell you right now, the chat is priceless this morning. You guys are on fire. I love it. Is that Kate
Detective
McKinnon?
Alexander Creamer, Detective James McCullough, and of course our Chief of Detectives, Chief Kenny. As part of these investigations, our members recovered and reviewed thousands of hours of video, conducted extensive surveillance on illegal gambling locations across the city, and executed more than 24 search warrants on electronic records that revealed the true extent of this conspiracy. Once again, the work of our detectives, together with the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office, closed those gaps before they could widen further. The NYPD is proud to stand with each of you today as these cases represent the kind of partnership that defines modern law enforcement agencies, sharing intelligence, coordinating resources, and moving as one team. Thank you.
Thank you.
If anyone has any questions that they'd like to ask, now is the time.
I had a question about the structure of the case. Is it the investigation into one case, did that lead into the discovery of the other?
How did the case fold out? Was it one case?
I'm
no,
not at liberty
really,
to
Bobo.
discuss either
It's
the
not
background
great,
of the
but it's
investigation
okay.
itself
And can you
or
let her know I
the
do need
investigation
keys?
as it
I can't
continues.
find
So I'm
my
afraid
keys.
I can't really explain
Can you-
to you
can you
other
let her
than the
know?
fact that
Thank you,
both
Bobo.
cases have been unsealed today, and there was an overlap that has been
No,
discussed
nothing's.
already.
I don't know
with
what's
respect to
happening right
certain
now, but
other
nothing's
defendants.
normal.
Are any other NBA players
Yes.
suspected?
Jonathan Porter claimed that he had a gambling addiction. Did Rozier or Billups or Damon Jones claim the same thing at all?
With respect to any allegations or defenses that have been made
morning,
by any of the
afternoon, my
defendants, they will have their opportunity to present them in court. We're not here to air those at this time or to discuss them. Yes.
You said the investigation is still ongoing. There seems to be several players referenced in the indictments, some that may have potentially passed on information. Is there the possibility of future arrests of NBA players in connection to the sports gambling operation specifically?
As I said, I can't discuss ongoing investigations. The investigation is ongoing, which by definition means that there will be further evidence uncovered at a minimum.
Then why
and
are
there's
we
always
here?
that possibility. But I can't comment any further with respect to that. Yes.
Thank you. Director Patel, you had said in your comments, we're going to take heat for this case. Why do you say that? And what efforts might you take to counter that?
It's not popular to go after some of the defendants that we went after today, but justice is served blindly. And how do we countermand that? Simple. The unsealing of these indictments today shows the force of the Department of Justice and our great Attorney General and the leadership that we have at the FBI and the team here to specifically mete out justice. And look, let's not, mince words. This is the insider trading saga for the NBA. That's what this is. That's why we are going to take heat. But as the evidence comes out, as the indictments are unsealed, you will see the extensive work these men and women put in, countless hours over years, and that's how we countermand it.
So the dates of these indictments that were filed are October 9th and October 16th. Can you talk about the timing of moving in now? Why now?
We will not publicly discuss the timing of when we do takedowns. I will only say that we do takedowns in a coordinated fashion with our law enforcement partners and the U.S. Attorney at the appropriate time to make sure that we ensure the integrity of the investigation, as the United States Attorney said, an investigation that is very much ongoing.
Director Patel, you said insider trading for the NBA. What are the implications of this case for other sports leagues and for the legal gambling industry in general?
Simple. If you're participating in the legal gambling industry, you got nothing to worry about. If you're participating in illegal conduct, you got everything to worry about, and this case shows it.
Did the illegal conduct cross with the legal sports betting platforms in any capacity? And if so, is that the search warrants that the police commissioner just referenced?
I'm not sure I quite understand your question. You're asking if the illegal conduct...
If it crossed with, like, the sports betting industry or the online sports betting?
The sports books themselves are victims in this case. They themselves did not, as far as our investigation is concluded, they did not perpetrate anything unlawful.
Are you able to say
Were they aware?
Which sports books or online outlets they use to make these bets?
I'm not going to respond to that at this time.
Here's my thing about this betting stuff. So were the sports books, etc., aware that there were schemes about? Or a better question, because I'm sure the answer to that is no, or they would say no. A better question for me is, are there patterns of bet making that would then lead to a betting company or, whatever, a broker, I don't know what they call themselves, would there be activity levels that would then lead the betting company to question the bet? I mean, I just feel like this is just like, I think this is really just our, by your, oh, Mr. Spock, you're so sweet. I mean, that's my thing is wouldn't I mean, this should be easy to figure. I mean, I just think this is stupid. This is like, I don't give a shit if people lost money betting. I'm sorry. That's the last thing on my list right now. We've got people being kidnapped, we've got people being shot. Like, I don't give a shit if you lost money because you were playing poker with a basketball player and you were so fucking enamored of him that you thought you're going to just give him all your money. That's your problem. That's not a me problem. That's a you problem. I don't give a shit. You can rig all the games. I don't care. No, I do not care. So this to me is just another piece of the Cash Patel. I'm making myself look important, and we're going to have a press conference for something that could have just been a press release and been done. But no, we have to have this dog and pony show that everybody takes work off for to go downtown to, da 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 da. No way 34 people all knew this was happening. Why tell that many people? Sucky criming. Yeah, then you're a really bad crimer. Trump pardoned Paul Manafort. He was connected to the mob. Exactly. I mean, it could have been an email. That's what I'm saying. My oldest kid does sports betting. Wonder what he thinks of it. That would be interesting. Nice Koza you got there. Would be would be would be a nice, well, actually nice Nostra you got there. Would be a shame if it became Kosa. Oh wait, Nostra, you're right. Nice Kosa you got there. Would be a shame if it became Nostra. Sorry, I got my Italian mixed up. Also, who in the hell is saved by this indictment? Nobody. Zero. I mean, maybe Cash Patel's erection later on when he can actually, like, have a wank. Yeah. I wonder what the Barstool guy thinks. Yeah, he's a real piece of work too. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah. So as you said, Karen, last September is when 2 RT employees indicted for covertly funding and directing U.S. company that published thousands of videos and further of Russian. This is the. Oh no, is this the one? No, that's not the right one. Sorry, wrong one. Anyway, sorry, that was the wrong one. But there was a. Let me go back. Hold on. Let me go back to the start. Hold on right now. That's not the right one. October 2024, excuse me. October 2024. 2 Russian nationals, actually 3 total, were charged with participation in a scheme to illegally acquire and export sensitive U.S. microelectronics with military applications to Russia. The charges were announced, blah, 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 blah. Southern District of New York is where the case is. And those people are on the run. So the people that were part of that indictment, the Russians, they have not been detained. Shocker. Shocker, I'm sure, for you to know that. I'm sure this is your shocked face. Okay, let's see what else is happening today. We're still on the Senate floor. We're still doing our thing. But let me also, I have a bunch of stuff I want to read to you. Read to me. I want you to read to me. Okay, I'm not sure I want to read that one. What is that from? October 21st. I'm just trying to pick which one I want to read. Oh, I'm gonna read you. Am I gonna read you this one? Yeah, I am gonna read you this one. I think I inadvertently got a subscription to the Wall Street Journal. I'm not sure how I did it, but I think I did it by mistake. But anyway. Oops, wrong one. Sorry, wrong person. So here we go. Meta cuts 600 jobs in the AI division. Let me just make sure I'm checking in with. It's online casino. I wonder if that's correct. I mean, the thing about it is I kind of expect to be taken to the back of the shed with casinos and betting and gambling. I mean, I like to play poker. I love playing poker, but I never do it for money. I mean, that's just seems, I know I'm going to lose. Jesus. Meta cuts. The layoffs will affect legacy teams, but not the company's new TBD land, which means all you old employees at Facebook, you are fucked. Look at, he's such a fucking, what is this? What is this? Who told him that was a good look? Who told him? That's what I want to know. Tell me right now. Who told you that was a good look, Zuckerberg? Jim has an intense new article on Mike Johnson. Oh, yeah, that's right. Jane, he should be careful. The FBI is getting access to bank accounts of people betting. Oh, yeah, with FanDuel and DraftKings. Those are the two big betting sites, aren't they? Okay. All right. Well, let's read about stupid Zuckerberg because he's an idiot. Meh. Meta platforms. Yeah, figure that out. Okay. Meta Platforms is cutting about 600 jobs in its AI division, according to an internal memo that was viewed by the Wall Street Journal and a person familiar with the matter. The job cuts will affect the company's teams focused on artificial intelligence products, infrastructure, and long term AI research, but won't touch the TBD lab, the new team that houses most of Meta chief executive Mark Zuckerberg's multi-million-dollar hires, the memo said. So you only need the high ups to be human. Hello. You're being fucked, country. Okay? You're being fucked. I don't know if you know it, but that's what's going on here. So I hope you're enjoying it. All right. By reducing the size of our team, I don't know if my voices are working.
By reducing, no, it's not working.
Oh, can you
guys hear it as a baby voice? No. Is that a baby voice to you? No. Yes, no.
All right. By reducing the size of our team, fewer conversations will be required to make a decision, and each person will be more load bearing. Oh, is it? Okay, good.
Okay, well, good. Okay. By reducing the size of our team, fewer conversations will be required to make a decision, and each person will be more load bearing and have more scope and impact, wrote Alexander Wang, Meta's chief AI officer.
He said that there are no changes to the broader Meta Superintelligence Lab structure, which was put together over the summer to help Meta revamp its AI efforts, and that the company plans to continue hiring AI native talent. Meta recently poached Thinking Machines co founder Andrew Tullock, the journal previously reported. Most of the affected employees will have the opportunity to be redeployed to other jobs at Meta where their AI expertise could be useful, Wang said. Axios previously reported some of the details of the job cuts. Since the lackluster launch of Meta's latest Llama large language model in the spring, that's not easy to say, the company has been on a crusade to reset its AI plans and stay competitive with other leading companies racing to develop cutting edge AI technology. Meta acquired a 49% stake in startup Scale AI and hired its CEO Wang to run a newly formed AI division focused on developing so-called super intelligence. What in the fuck is super intelligence? What in the fuck is super intelligence? Zuckerberg also became the company's recruiter in chief, personally reaching out to prospective AI hires to invite them to his homes. His homes. For meals and pitches on why they should join his company. Another part of the pitch was lofty multi-million-dollar pay packages. Meta ultimately managed to poach more than 50 engineers, researchers, and other employees from competitors like OpenAI, Alphabet's Google, and Apple. Many of those hires are part of the secretive TBD Lab team at Meta, which has taken over development of the company's models. That team sits near Zuckerberg's desk at Meta's Menlo Park, California headquarters and has separate badges to get to their designated section. None of the people on the team were affected by Wednesday's cuts, according to the memo. Meta, which has already increased the high end of its capital expenditure projections for the year once, reports third quarter earnings next week. The company previously said it planned to spend up to $72 billion on CapEx, capital expenditures, this year, largely on its AI endeavors. Agentic AI. Scary. Scary. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, that is scary. Sorry, it is. Which one is this? I guess Nava versus Homeland Security. Okay, hold on. Let me just go through. Millet. Oh yeah, this I thought we'd read this. This was Gal shared this, and I thought it was an interesting article from Breaking Defense. Let me make it a little bigger so we can see it. I don't sell my personal information. Yeah. A Pentagon memo obtained by Breaking Defense now mandates that all communication with Congress be routed through its main legislative affairs office. Secretary of Defense, no, we're not going to call him Secretary of War because that's stupid. Defense Department personnel will now have to coordinate all interactions with Congress through the Pentagon's Central Legislative Affairs Office, according to a memo obtained by Breaking Defense, a change in policy that could further curb the flow of information stemming from the department to Capitol Hill. In the October 15th memo, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Deputy Defense Secretary Steve Feinberg direct Defense Department personnel, with the exception of the Pentagon's Inspector General Office, to coordinate with the Office of the Assistant Secretary of Defense for Legislative Affairs for all engagements and communication with Congress and state elected officials. The Department of War relies on a collaborative and close partnership with Congress to achieve our legislative goals. This requires coordination. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry, just the key saga. Relies on a collaborative and close partnership with Congress to achieve our legislative goals. This requires coordination and alignment of department messaging when engaging with Congress to ensure consistency and support for the department's priorities to reestablish deterrence, rebuild our military. I thought we already rebuilt it. And revive the warrior ethos. That's right. Pig's Breath and Feinberg wrote in the memo, which uses a secondary name for the Defense Department, which these folks refuse to legitimize, and I love it. I am here for it. Unauthorized engagements. Okay, here we go.
Listen, everybody, okay? Unauthorized engagements with Congress by DOW. We're not DOD, we're DOW. Get it right. Personnel acting in their official capacity, no matter how well intentioned, may undermine department wide priorities critical to achieving our legislative objectives.
Hegseth and Feinberg wrote later in the memo. Under the terms of the directive, all interactions between Defense Department personnel and Congress or state elected officials, including those outside of the National Capital Region, require approval from the Pentagon's Legislative Affairs Office. I'm just going to stop there for a minute because I think that even if you're a member of the military, you have access to your Congress people as a voter. Am I wrong about that? I don't think I'm wrong about that. I think I'm very right about that. I don't think you can prevent someone from talking to your congressperson. Now, I get that this is to stop any leaking that's happening, but they're not addressing the root cause of the leaking, which is the poor decision making. Okay? It's the poor decision making that we've got here. All right? Elected officials stop by bases regularly unannounced. So then what? Yeah, exactly. Are we not, are you not supposed to talk to anybody who just shows up? Yeah, you can't prevent an American citizen from accessing their representation to address grievances, okay, or redress grievances. All right, be safe, Jay Rance. Hey, Meowing Star says, heads up, SC will determine on November 7th. Oh my God, the same-sex marriage. Okay, so next week, is it next week or is it the week after? Because there's also the tariff case. There's some really big cases coming in November, so thank you for that heads up. I'll make sure we put a show on for that day and reserve a spot. Yeah. Oh, because that's weird. We're gonna have to figure those. I'll figure out those dates because. Oh, actually, yeah. Oh, that's weird. So Wednesday and Friday. Oh, they're gonna hear it Friday. That's so bizarre. So 2 weeks from now, we're definitely going to be listening in on those cases. I wonder what Mike's wife knows about their holy relationship. Yeah, it's bad, people. Okay, I can't sugarcoat this. I just see really bad things happening, and I am so depressed about the voting machines, and I'm so depressed that I just don't have much confidence in the midterms, and I'm going to try and work that out. But right now, I'm feeling very like, wow, they really have stacked all the cards. We don't hold any cards. You don't hold any cards. The directive is a shift from previous policy, which allowed the military services, combatant commands, and other Defense Department agencies to manage their own interactions with Congress, with senior leaders for those organizations often driving the level of engagement on Capitol Hill, and each service having its own legislative affairs team, which seems really normal. Your post shows that. Okay, great. Rep. George Whitesides of California, a member of the House Armed Services Committee, told Breaking Defense that the move is unlikely to be received well on Capitol Hill. Congress decides who Congress will talk to, and the continued efforts of the Secretary to wall off the department is not consistent with past tradition, and I frankly don't think it'll fly with the members or leaders of the committee, he said. One congressional aide told Breaking Defense that the new policy could potentially backfire on the department, especially as Congress hammers out details of the fiscal 2026 National Defense Authorization Act and the corresponding appropriations bill. Sometimes the staff writing those bills need information from the Pentagon, military services, or combatant commands within minutes. If those details need to be cleared by the Pentagon's main legislative affairs office, they may not arrive in time to impact pending legislation and may result in language that adversely impacts the military, the aide said. Yeah. Yeah. After publication, Chief Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell said in a statement that the memo is a pragmatic step to internally review the department's processes for communicating with Congress. The department intends to improve accuracy and responsiveness in communicating with Congress to facilitate increased transparency. Boy, you know what? Just because you say the word transparency doesn't mean you're transparent. I'm just saying. This review is for processes internal to the department and does not change how or from whom Congress receives the information. The memo applies to senior department leaders, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the Joint Staff, combatant command heads, service secretaries and chiefs, directors of Defense Department agencies, and congressional affairs officials, amongst others, including the guy who brings you your coffee. However, the directive does not limit the authorities of the Pentagon's comptroller, with the memo noting that the comptroller's budget and appropriations affairs office will continue to serve as the principal legislative liaison for the appropriations committees and the congressional budget office. The authorities of the Pentagon's general counsel also remain unchanged, and service members and department employees still retain whistleblower protections for now. Thank you, Bobo. Thank you so much. You're the best. You're like the landlord whisperer. And I really appreciate you for that. I love you, Bobo, so much. I love you. Thank you, baby. She's the best. The best person in the world. That's bar none. Let's see. Where did I leave off? In addition to the new restrictions on congressional interaction, Hegseth and Feinberg have ordered the Pentagon's Assistant Secretary of Legislative Affairs to conduct a comprehensive review of the department's interactions with Congress. That report, which is expected in 90 days, she is the best daughter ever. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Salt of the earth human. Should address current issues, inefficiencies, or misalignments in congressional engagement processes and include proposals to streamline activities and enhance compliance in the realm of congressional affairs, the memo stated. The memo authorizes the Legislative Affairs Office to form working groups across the department to support the ongoing review. Meanwhile, Pentagon component heads and principal staff have been given 30 days to provide contact information for the personnel supporting legislative affairs, organizational charts showcasing roles and responsibilities. Oh, I am so sorry to everyone who has to jump through the hoops that they have to jump through. I can't. And information on tools used to track congressional engagements. Well, there you go. I want to see what you added to that. What you added to that. I have a question, Gal says. Oh, you're too much. Bobo, stop it. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. I love you so much. You know I love you. My little peanut. I have a question. Is this legal? Gal says. Any lawyers weighing in on this new directive from Secretary of Whiskey that any military member that may interact with elected officials be pre-approved? Seems they're trying to prevent whistleblowers and set up opportunities for snitching on perceived disloyals. Code 1034 Protected Communications Prohibition of Retaliatory Personnel Actions. No person may restrict a member of the armed forces in communicating with a member of Congress or an inspector general. Well, there it is. There it is. Illegal schmiegel, I guess. Nexperia. Check Discord. Nexperia? What the hell's Nexperia? My baby peanut. My baby peanut. My baby peanut. Active duty military members are protected from reprisal from making protected communications under the Military Whistleblower Protection Act. These communications are lawful reports of suspected violations of law or regulations, such as illegal discrimination, gross mismanagement, or abuse of authority, and can be made to Congress or an inspector general. The protections extend to Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard, and there are specific procedures for submitting complaints. And I imagine the Space Force too. I imagine the Space Force gets it too. Okay, so I have two stories on the voting machines too, that I haven't read yet. Has already gutted the inspector. I know there is no inspector general, right? Is that true? Oh, Lee, hi. Everyone's saying hi. You guys are the best. Hope you're, yeah. Well, she's got a day off. I think there's some kind of holiday. So she's got the day off, which is nice. That's your boat. Yes, I understand, Karen. You're talking to my daughter. I get it. Hi, Lee. I hope it's going smooth, not too busy. Oh. Does the sale of Dominion voting systems mean a transformation? Depends who's asking. This is from October 18th. Oh, and this is from NPR. When Scott Leinendecker announced that he was buying Dominion Voting Systems, the elections technology company at the heart of countless 2020 election conspiracy theories, he teased a transformation. As of today, Dominion is gone, read the first line of a press release that seemed to many readers to lean into the unfounded rumors that have swirled around the company and led to hundreds of millions of dollars in defamation settlements since Donald Trump's loss in the 2020 presidential election. Yes, 1956 Revolution anniversary. Yeah, that's right. That guy is speaking, right? Let's see. Here we go. We are turning the page and beginning the vital work of restoring. Oh boy.
We are turning the page and beginning the vital work of restoring faith in American elections.
Leinendecker wrote on the on a public letter posted on the website for his new company, Liberty Vote. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? What could go wrong? But in private, when speaking to the company's county election official customers, the messaging has been different, raising the questions of how much the company plans to change. Feel assured that Liberty Vote shares the same values as Dominion. Company representatives in Georgia, which has a statewide contract with the company, wrote in an email that NPR reviewed and was sent to counties after the sale was announced. Same team, same support, different name. In Colorado, where Dominion was headquartered and where 60 of 64 countries have a contract with the company, Molly Fitzpatrick, who's the Democratic Boulder County clerk, talked with Line and Decker shortly after the sale and helped facilitate another call to include every clerk in the state. He reiterated that he is an elections person. Don't worry. I'm an elections person. Okay? Don't worry about it. I got this. I'm an elections person. And has a long track record of being involved in elections, Fitzpatrick said. Boy, that means absolutely nothing. Can I tell you that? That is absolutely. We've been here before, and unfortunately, I know way too much about the machines and how obsessed they were. And Corncob Grassley keeps complaining about shitter, but he doesn't do a damn thing about it. Yeah, the marches were. Whoops. Oh, the marches were huge. Millions of people. I heard some chants, but didn't want to join the march because I couldn't tell if it was for Orban or the opposition. I know. I'm going to gift link. Oh, thank you, gal. I want to read that. At a red light district. Bobo is here. We've been here before. Line and Decker didn't respond for comment. Well, let's just stay on the election depression train here. New York Times. Trump empowers election deniers still fixated on 2020 grievances. Yup. I think it's very dangerous. Let me be serious for a minute. I actually think it's extraordinarily dangerous that this man has purchased Dominion voting machines. And I misquoted some percentages last night, but I found the correct percentages. And Dominion machines are responsible for about 40% of the machines in the country, right? So that are used by states and such. And then ES&S has about 50% of that, and then there's a mix of others, I guess, smaller for the rest of it. But I am incredibly concerned that the purchase of the actual machine company that they were so obsessed with, to the point of losing hundreds of millions of dollars and everything. Mike Lindell lost his entire company because of this. You will not be able to convince me that there aren't people alongside this Liberty Leinendecker, whatever his name is, that are advising him about what access they're going to have to the information and their ability to manipulate information within the machines. I'm sorry, but this has been their fever dream for too many years. And it was a complete and utter fixation for them. And I'm just really concerned that there is no incentive for this company not to rig the vote. There's literally nothing stopping them from doing that. Nothing. Yeah. I just hate it. Trump said it in the Oval Office that he wants to get rid of, and that's right, getting rid of mail-in ballots. I mean, there's the gerrymandering that's happening, the fact that North Carolina just gained another Republican seat. It's going to happen in other states. We're going through this mess because we have to combat. I mean, it's just the whole thing is a mess. But we've got that. All of this is like hedging the bets, right? They've got the machines. They've got an attack on mail-in ballots. They've got, I don't. It's just I can't. Why was the lich? She overswept. Oh, the broom. Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay, so let's read about this. Thank you for the gift article, Gal. The president has placed proponents of his false claims into government jobs while dismantling systems built to secure voting, raising fears that he aims to seize authority over elections ahead of next year's midterms. Election officials from nearly all 50 states gathered on a call last month with the Homeland Security Department's point person on election integrity eager to hear how the woman filling a newly created Trump administration position might help safeguard the vote ahead of next year's midterms. Did they really think that? Did they really think that? Are they stupid? No, they're not stupid. They literally have have lived this. So that's the stupidest reporting I've ever read. Okay, just so you know. But many of them left alarmed. Oh, wow, you think? Rather than offering assurances that the federal government's election protection programs would continue uninterrupted. Really? Because you expected that? Are you fucking high? The new official, Heather Honey? Oh my God, that's right. I forgot about this appointment. Okay. Heather Honey is one of the main proponents of election denier, fake, fraud, boondoggle red herrings. She was part of uh, Garland Favorito. Do you remember Garland Favorito? Well, she was part of Garland Favorito's team, and she is just a fucking notorious election fucker. That's what I'm going to call them from now on. That's what I'm going to call them. There's nothing stopping them from doing anything, all the things. It's insanity. Clearly, the Constitution was never that strong to begin with, I guess, if these guys can just skirt around it. I mean, what they do is ram through it, and then the courts can't keep up. I feel like the cases are brought, right? People are on top of that. They're bringing the cases. But the way the system works, it just dies. And meanwhile, they continue unabated because they can just say, oops, and there's no consequence because the Supreme Court. So, yeah, there is nothing stopping them. I actually am very afraid that we will not have good elections next year and they will just shove it down our throats. And I am very concerned about that. And I don't know what to do about it other than to say loudly, perhaps it's about calling your state and finding out more about the equipment and who has, like just asking the questions in your states as to whether how Liberty vote machines and oh my God, I can't. This is so incredibly depressing to me. Sorry. Okay. The new official Heather Honey instead used portions of the meeting to echo rhetoric that has infused the right wing election activist movement that emerged since President Trump falsely claimed that his 2020 defeat was the result of fraud, according to 5 people with knowledge of the call. Ms. Honey, a leader in the movement until her appointment in August as Deputy Assistant Secretary for Election Integrity, complained that her department's cybersecurity experts tasked with combating misinformation about elections had strayed from their mission. The remark echoed a widespread view on the right that the agency had sought to silence supporters of Mr. Trump's fraud claims. Ms. Honey also repeatedly mentioned a report often cited by election conspiracists to support their claims that the voting machines were rigged to favor Democrats. According to people familiar with the call, I am sorry, guys. It's game over. I don't know what to tell you. Make your plans. The ascent of Ms. Honey reflects how Dump and his allies, despite a clear victory last year, remain consumed with the belief that the 2020 election was stolen and how the president is using the powers of the government to upend an electoral system that he insists helped Biden take the White House. In the past few months, Mr. Dump has elevated multiple proponents of his fraud claims into high-level administration jobs. Now, as government insiders, these activists could yield their newfound power to discredit future results or rekindle old claims to argue for a federal intrusion into locally administered voting systems. But they don't have to because now one of them owns the fucking voting systems. But I digress. On a call with right-wing activists in March before her appointment to the Homeland Security Department, Ms. Honey suggested that the new administration could declare a national emergency and justify dictating new rules to state and local governments. She said this could be based on an actual investigation of the 2020 election if it showed there had been a manipulation of the vote. And therefore,
And therefore, we have some additional powers that don't exist right now, she said in March, according to a recording reviewed by the New York Times from someone who joined the call. And therefore, we can take these other steps without Congress, and we can mandate that states do things, and so on. We can mandate that states. That's a quote, people. That's a quote, people. Oh my God. She added, I don't know if that's really feasible and if the people around the president would let him test that theory. I don't know.
The idea of reinvestigating the 2020 election gained steam recently with the what? I didn't hear this. Wait, what? Oh my god. Oh my god. What? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what is that? You hired Kurt Olson? Mike Lindell's lawyer? John Eastman's lawyer? Oh my god. I don't know what to say, everybody. Yeah, they've captured everything. Yikes. Yeah, Heather Honey sounds like a character out of a Boris and Natasha cartoon, but she is all too real. She's a researcher. Oh, that's right. Oh my god. Kurt Olson. Wow. Okay. God, man, this is like PTSD. The idea of reinvestigating the 2020 election when they hired Kurt Olson, a lawyer who's been tasked with examining the 2020 vote and other election matters. Oh, wait, I thought he already did that. I thought that was why Kurt was so fucking hell bent on trying to prove that the 2020 election was stolen, because he already knew everything. What the fuck, Kurt? You're supposed to walk in there knowing everything, you stupid cunt. The hiring of Mr. Olson, who has worked closely with for years with the pillow entrepreneur. This is way too much, Paulina. It is absolutely off the off charts bananas. I mean, this is bad. I can't even tell you how bad this is. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm so wrong. I hope I'm so wrong. Oh, I have a bad feeling. The hiring of with pillow entrepreneur Mike Lindell to promote stolen election theories was first reported by the Wall Street Journal. Boy, I really missed that one. Another activist, Marcy McCarthy, who spread debunked claims about voting machines in Georgia when she was the chairwoman of the DeKalb County Republican Party, was named in May to be the Director of Public Affairs at the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, which is housed at the Homeland Security Department. This is so bad. This is so, so, so bad. Ms. McCarthy's appointment comes as nearly all of the election experts at CISA have been placed on administrative leave or reassigned this year amid a large-scale downsizing of the agency, which had played a leading role in deterring attacks on election systems and combating disinformation about voting. Oh, man. The changes are unfolding as Mr. Dump takes steps to try and create more structural advantage for Republicans ahead of the 2026 midterms, including pressuring GOP-led states to redraw congressional district lines to maximize the party's chances of keeping control of the House of Representatives. Now, election officials who have spent years trying to debunk false claims that the voting systems were tilted against Mr. Dump are assessing how to work with some of the most fervent proponents of those claims. These people are not coming with an objective frame of mind to say, let's look at the facts and see where that takes us, said Matt Crane, a former Republican elections official who is the executive director of the Colorado Clerks Association and served until earlier this year as a consultant for CISA. They have their destination in mind and cherry pick facts to help stand up their crazy theories, so there's nothing objective about it. That guy is a Republican elections official. Yeah, Tina Peters is still in jail. That guy is a Republican elections official, the executive director of the Clerks Association, saying that he doesn't trust his own party. I mean, really, people. I mean, please don't give up entirely, but I don't know what we do. I don't think this country is quite awake and is too busy fighting with each other about purity tests and whether we're going to, make concessions on, uh, uh, I mean, I'm just like, I can't. Like, let's stop. Everybody just fucking stop. And I'm not saying kumbaya, but I'm saying stop fucking issuing a purity test for everybody around you. If they are pro democracy, let's go because we are losing it all. We are losing it all. And when he said we're not going to have any more elections, he was pretty fucking prescient. Ugh. Ms. Honey and Ms. McCarthy didn't respond. In response to questions from the Times, the Homeland Security Department declined to give specifics about the department's election work. A Homeland Security spokeswoman, Tricia fucking McLaughlin, who is a fucking cunt, and I can't wait to see her on trial at Nuremberg 2.0, because I'm going to tell you right now, remember that name, Tricia McLaughlin, you're going to be at Nuremberg 2.0, and bitch, you're going to be crying like a little fucking baby. And I can't wait. I'm going to drink those tears, bitch. Tricia McLaughlin said in a statement that CIS's mission is ensuring state and local election officials are cognizant of and utilize the most capable and timely threat intelligence, expertise, resources they need to defend against risks, and identify critical infrastructure security needs to maintain electoral functions. She also said that the agency's hires go through a rigorous vetting process. Well, let's talk about who helped. Clitta Mitchell. Where's Clitta? I think you're right there, Clitta. I think I have you on the screen. That's right. I think I do. I think you are. Where are you? Got to organize these. Clitta, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Because you gotta have these people in your mind when I'm reading this. Oh, Clitta's really hard to find. Okay. Clitta, what's the matter? Balls, weed, Beasley. Sorry, I just really wanted to. I want to push her up on the screen. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to do it. Fuck it. Okay. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Okay. Clitta Mitchell, the Republican lawyer who helped Mr. Dump challenge the 2020 results and worked with Ms. Honey and Ms. McCarthy through an activist group she founded, the Election Integrity Network, praised the Homeland Security appointments. These are the very kind. Wait.
These are the very kind of election integrity leaders every American can be proud to have at DHS.
The moves by Trump to elevate election activists could portend escalating legal battles over how much power his administration wields over balloting across the country. Already this year, wait, what'd you say? Rigorous vetting is the best veterinarian. They do all my pigs. That is a good one. Already this year, courts have affirmed that the president has no legal authority over elections, which have long been the domain of state and local governments. Ha ha, that's so funny. Judges have largely blocked an executive order that Mr. Dump issued in March requiring, among other things, documentary proof of citizenship to vote. But the Dump administration has taken other aggressive steps to assert more sway over elections. The Justice Department, for instance, is compiling the largest set of national voter roll data voter roll data it has ever collected, an effort to try and prove unsubstantiated claims that large numbers of undocumented immigrants have voted illegally, the Times previously reported. In a separate effort that also collects similar details, the Homeland Security Department has been soliciting election officials to upload voter information in bulk into their Dropbox, probably, through a program it developed that checks immigration status. According to it's called AI. Okay, they didn't develop anything; they just use Grok to document the. According to documents released in a recent lawsuit and other documents viewed by the Times, state election officials have long rebuffed attempts by the department to access state voter rolls, warning that sharing this data could expose sensitive information like social security numbers or be used to gain an uneven political advantage. Yeah. Ms. Honey has traced the roots of her election skepticism to the aftermath of the 2020 election in the wake of a widespread legal and public relations effort by Dump and his allies to push the false notion that he was the victor and discredit results that showed otherwise. There's no indication that Ms. Honey, a registered Republican, had been active in politics before 2020. She had worked as a private investigator for companies, hunting for stolen and counterfeit goods, and scouring the social and media accounts of potential employees, according to a person with knowledge on her background. She has said that after casting a ballot in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, where she lives, she began researching the state election department's website and saw numbers that she felt did not make sense. Eventually, she hit on what she claimed was an apparent discrepancy between the number of voters recorded in one tracking system and the official tally of votes cast. The claim has been repeatedly disputed by election officials who said she was misinterpreting and misusing a state database that tracks registered voters and whether or not they voted in previous elections. Nonetheless, Ms. Honey shared her claims with Dump allies in her state, and soon Dumpy was repeating it.
So, in Pennsylvania, you had 205,000 more votes than you had voters, he said in a speech from the ellipse on January 6th. And this is mathematical. This is a mathematical impossibility, unless you want to say it's a total fraud.
When Mr. Trump finally returned to his Florida estate, Mar-a-Flarto, his court challenges defeated Miss Honey was just getting started, baby. Hold my White Claw. In 2022, she was a leading witness in an election challenge brought by Carrie Lake. Oh, and guess what? I forgot about this. I didn't really forget, but I've just reminded. The losing candidate for Arizona governor, guess what? Mr. Olson served as one of Miss Lake's attorneys. That's right, folks. I watched all those hearings. She got slammed, and so did he. Ms. Honey claimed that the one county's election procedures could have allowed false ballots to be counted, but under questioning, she acknowledged that she had no evidence that this had occurred on a large scale. She didn't have evidence that it occurred on a small scale. Okay? A judge found that her claim would not come close to clear and convincing evidence that the election outcome was affected. By that point, Ms. Honey had become influential within the Election Integrity Network, the large coalition of pro-dump election activists headed by Clita. She went on to run the network's Pennsylvania group. Probably has some interesting stories and had shared a couple of White Claws with Scott Pressler. In 2023, Ms. Honey's company was paid $121,000 from Ms. Mitchell's organization for consulting work, according to IRS records. Ms. McCarthy, meanwhile, was an active contributor to the Election Integrity Network's Leadership Council, according to a portion of her website that has since been deleted. She worked to place far-right activists on the local election board in DeKalb County and was instrumental in forcing out a member of the Georgia State Election Board who voted against a rule to end mail voting in the state. Mr. Dump's victory in 2024 created a wave of momentum for the Election Integrity Network as its members sought to capitalize on the new administration's posture towards elections. Oh, really? Their scam? The first step was to draft a list of demands that sought to provide something of a blueprint for the federal government. I didn't even read it. The document, titled U.S. Citizens Elections Bill of Rights, called for new restrictions on mail ballots and early voting and included provisions that would make it easier to get people removed from voting rolls and challenge the certification of election results. See, all of this is just compounded, so that you've got voter rolls under control, you've got the machines under your control, you'll control where people and how people vote. You'll decide if they're on the voter rolls, even if their vote counts. A lot of votes will be challenged. The redistricting, everything is a hedge because this administration cannot lose any power that it has because they know that they're operating on a timeline and running towards a complete abdication of accountability and restriction from corruption and other things. Let's see. Rigorous vetting is the best veterinarian. Is his hand still bruised? I think it is, kind of. Not to mention that the women are at fault for their own SA or the rampant racism, the rampant homophobia, all since 2018, some as recent as 2021. Absolutely. Hello, Robert. Welcome back. He hasn't even won the primary, but people are bending themselves to pretzels to defend the recent bigot. Oh, yeah. All the defenses of Plattner, let's talk about that, is making the leaked Nazi chat of young Republicans a non-issue. Yep, congrats, America. We've reached the everyone has a Nazi phase. Can't judge them for that. Right, exactly. I'm like, what? I didn't say it like anything. Good morning. Badger, weird investigation. I know. Oh my God. Stop being such a victim. God, calm down. Okay, let's see. Let's get back to the efforts. The efforts mirrored elements of Mr. Dump's executive order on elections and a bill passed by the House but stalled in the Senate, known as the SAVE Act. Remember that? Which would require all voters in federal elections to show proof of citizenship. So guess what, Mima? Guess what, Mima? If you want to vote for Dump again, you better get out there and get your birth certificate. That's right, honey. You better get your birth certificate. You're going to have to show it. So Mima's not going to be able to vote. That's right. Ms. Honey, Ms. Mitchell, and all other members of the Election Integrity Network watched from the public gallery in April as the House passed the elections bill and then posted on social media a photo of the group posing afterward on the balcony off Speaker Mike Johnson's office. There they are, Clitta, Chip Roy. Yeah, wow. Boy. The Election Integrity Network. Wow. Whoa, it's a little breezy there, huh, kids? Oh, you got your little hair going there. A little Beyonce moment for you. Oh my God. These are the women that are ruining the country, by the way. Those are the people that are destroying our country. Just so you know. Just so you have it. You have that down. And after all the Gavin Newsom agreed with Kirk dick sucking, yeah, there's no opposition. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Did he say that? Please tell me he didn't say that. The meeting came last month between Ms. Honey and election officials from all 50 states, came as many election officials have begun to wonder whether the federal government would continue to be a reliable partner. After hearing about the Dump administration's cut to the cybersecurity agency, including the loss of around 25 staff members who had worked on election issues at the local and national levels, many were looking forward to hearing what Homeland Security Department and Ms. Honey plan to focus on. But the call, which lasted roughly an hour, left officials both confused and anxious about some of Miss Honey's responses. I mean, these people must know who Miss Honey is. She's very well known in the election circles. Come on now. I missed the first part. Oh, wait. Toronto Range does not exist. Wait, weird investigation. Oh, I did miss the first part. I'm so sorry. So forgive me, Badger. I've been calling people like that since high school, but at that time I was talking about German Nazi supporters. I think I'm just not caught up. Okay, I'm going to focus. When asked what her role entailed, these people said Miss Honey did not offer specifics. She said that she would also serve in an advisory capacity to CISA, but added no further details. In addition to questioning CISA's adherence to its cybersecurity mission, Ms. Honey made unspecified claims of censorship at the agency, a common complaint among right-wing election activists that struck a number of officials on the call as misguided or stupid. She said that the department would be working on issuing best practices for election machines and made multiple references to a report that had been wrongly interpreted by right-wing activists as part of their claims that election machines had been hacked and could not be trusted. Well, they're about to be hacked and can't be trusted. So here we are. Full circle. State election officials asked Ms. Honey about restoring funding for information centers that were previously run by CISA and were a critical element of election security. Ms. Honey said that they would not be returning and that states should plan to use fusion centers, which are hubs for collaboration across intelligence and state and local and federal law enforcement for election matters. A fusion center? I just want to see where that leads me. Okay. This caused some concern among election officials who wondered how fusion centers, which are often tasked with coordinating responses for major events like the Super Bowl, would have the bandwidth to help ensure election and security, according to the people with knowledge of the call. Ms. Honey's direct involvement in the Election Integrity Network stopped after her appointment, but she participated in a national leadership call for the group a few weeks ago, according to a person familiar with the call. She apologized that she could no longer work closely with her former colleagues. Oh, the summer of my German soldier. Sorry, I'm just bleak. Listen, Meowing Star, it's bleak. And yes, on Newsom's own podcast, yeah, I remember that. No, I do remember that. That's where a lot of the transphobia also emerged, or not. It had always been there, but it emerged in vocally. No, it's absolutely disgusting, and I don't know how we move through it, but I have very little confidence in the midterms for all of these reasons. Yeah. So there it is. So there you go. I'm bleak today too, Meowing Stars. So you're not alone. I don't know. I mean, it's like any all the ports in the storm are quite stormy, and have some, you know, I don't know. I just feel it's bottoming out a little bit. But we have to continue. We have to keep going. We have to keep doing what we do. Um, yeah. Honey is a buzzword for election conspiracy. FYI, just now, Virginia Democrats plan to redraw House maps in redistricting plan. Wow. I hope this works. Do you think Prop 50 will pass? I do think it'll pass. I think it'll pass. I think it's got good support. When I was out there on Saturday at the No Kings thing, there was a lot of yes on 50 um, messaging there as well. So I think that, along with usual, I guess, Democrat voting, I could see that passing. I'm going to vote for it. So I have no idea if it's the right decision or the wrong decision long term, but I think the job is that we take steps to kind of ensure coverage and representation, because frankly, this isn't a matter of one choice over another. This is a matter of one party, if you will, uh, takes their role a little more seriously around governing for everyone than the others. The Republicans are corrupt. They have been corrupted, and they are no longer acting in the interest as a group for us, for anyone who is on this soil, frankly, whether you're a citizen or a non-citizen. And it's an extraordinary abuse of power. Yeah, it's an extraordinary abuse of power to execute all the things that they're doing. The extrajudicial killings in the Caribbean, the tariff scheme, the the lack of support to help Ukraine fight back against an aggressor, the wholesale now commercialization and participation in the genocide of the Palestinian people in order to make money, people being kidnapped off the street, lack of due process across the board, the elimination of DEI, and the targeting of trans people. I mean, those are things that are extreme. That isn't a partisan issue. Those are fundamental human rights and the way that we have a peaceful and productive society is when everyone is uplifted. And that means we don't complain about trans kids. We don't complain about trans women in sports. We don't. That's when we know we've kind of gotten to a better place. And if you have one party that is fundamentally against and is taking active steps to eliminate things like civil rights, Dobbs is gone, all that kind of stuff. And now with the fact that we have a Supreme Court that is very compromised, which is absolutely unacceptable and should be to anyone, frankly. So yeah, I think that's why Prop 50 will pass. That's a long answer for that, but I also think that this isn't. There's no more politics, right? This isn't a politic issue. This is very much an authoritarian regime that is enacting their will, and even the courts can't keep up with it. And when the courts make a decision that this administration is not happy with, they attack them. So, I think it's a different. We're in a different world now, where nothing is really uh, the same as it was. So. So yeah, I'll be voting for Prop 50 and watching closely as we move through the results of Prop 50 and whether or not we need to push on our own state legislature and our own representatives here to ensure that redistricting is done with fairness, equity, and inclusion. Frankly, and that we will have to hold our California government accountable for that. I also understand, though, why they're doing it, why they're taking this extraordinary measure. And the one thing, I'm not a Newsom fan, but the one thing I appreciate is that he's saying, listen, I get it. This is not perfect, but we fight. This is what our idea is, to fight for the fire and then, go for that. The ads are a bit much for the red counties. I don't know. I haven't seen the ads. See, this is what I don't see ads. Shouldn't they have waited mentioning that until Spanberger? Who's Spanberger? What do you mean? Oh yeah, that's right. I worry that the ads, yeah. V for Vendetta, when the cop describes how he sees where everything is headed. Yeah, exactly. We just watched V for Vendetta in Discord thanks to Oomph on, I think it was Sunday night. But yeah, that was cool. I mean, yeah, it's just this is not normal, and it's just not normal. McFarlane has something to settle us, y'all. Uh, 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 uh. What? Yeah, I kind of wonder where all the money that we're getting is going, but here we go. Let me see. What's this? What's this? What's this? Ranking members of House Judiciary and Oversight Committees launch probe into reported Trump pursuit of $230 million in claims from taxpayers. Inquiry to admin, the founders feared presidents like you might one day be tempted to use their powers to steal U.S. taxpayer funds. Per House Democrats' inquiry to Trump, you waited until you became president and installed your hand-picked loyalists at DOJ, knowing you could instruct them to co-sign your demand notes in secret behind closed doors, and then you could present the notes to the U.S. Treasury for cold hard cash courtesy of the American taxpayer. That isn't justice, it is theft. What? Yes, we should watch. I will watch it again. I was going to ask you. I will watch it again. I don't care what day you want to play it. Let's just see what this is. In remarks to the press this week, you described a blatantly illegal and unconstitutional effort to steal $230 million from the American people. Your plan is to have your obedient underlings at the Department of Justice instruct the U.S. Treasury to pay you personally hundreds of millions of dollars, especially at a time when Americans are struggling to pay rent, put food on the table, and afford health care, is an outrageous and shocking attempt to shake down the American people. When did he ask for? Okay, I need to read this. Hold on. Would you believe I've forgotten where? Oh, yeah, I would believe that. I would. Well, maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't believe it, but I would understand it. The founders feared Okay, so we read that. As president, you may receive any payment. You may not receive any payment from the federal government or any of the states except for your salary, which is currently fixed by law at $400,000 per year. That is a categorical prohibition, not even waivable by Congress, unlike the Foreign Enrichments Clause. Emoluments. Sorry, I can't read. Emoluments Clause. Let me make this bigger. Right. Right. Oh, what? What? Why are you making that so small? Why are you doing that? Da, 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 da. emoluments clause where Congress can approve an otherwise illegal receipt of a gift like the $400 million airplane you want to accept from Qatar. Your plan to have your former criminal defense attorneys, including the Deputy Attorney General and Associate Attorney General, sign off on your demand for an astronomical $230 million payout from the U.S. Treasury clearly violates the ban on additional payments under the Domestic Emoluments Clause, one of your bogus demands, formerly an administrative claim under the Federal Tort Claims Act, seeks $85 million in punitive damages from the federal government, damages which are expressly prohibited under the act. Oh, that's right, because he's suing the DOJ for money. That's what it is. Yes, he's trying to sue the DOJ for money for their, weaponization or something. I don't know what, which is fucking ridiculous. Okay, there's evidence. You got away with it. Okay, you got away with it. And now I hope you don't get away with it again and get money on top of that. You fuck the country and then you get paid to fuck the country. It's still in the player oomph. Your plan to have former criminal oh yeah, blah blah blah. Where am I? Seeks 85 million and 15 million in compensatory damages for the cost of defending against the special counsel proceedings in court. Your other claim is not even public. If either of your claims had any merit, you could have taken them to court by now and litigated them publicly. You did not do that. Instead, you waited until you became president and installed your hand-picked loyalist at DOJ, knowing that you could instruct them to co-sign your demand notes in secret behind closed doors, and then you could present the notes to the U.S. Treasury for cold hard cash, courtesy of the American taxpayer. That isn't justice, it is theft. There is still time for you and anyone in your administration considering aiding and abetting these comically unconstitutional actions to call off. Sorry. Well, those aren't really helping because I'm too far away. Aiding and abetting, to call off this outrageous conspiracy. We urge you to renounce your plan publicly and assure the American people that their president is not pocketing hundreds of millions. Accordingly, we demand that you produce the following documents in the House Committee by October 30th. All administrative claims filed by you or your legal representative under the Federal Tort Act, and the evidence and the affidavits and the documents, blah, blah, blah. All correspondence between you and your legal representatives and any DOJ official, including but not limited to the Deputy Attorney General and Associate, over official or personal channels regarding the submission, processing, evaluation, or adjudication of these claims from the filing of such claims through the present. All correspondence between any White House official and any DOJ official, including but not limited to, including but not limited to the blah, blah, blah. Wait, from the filing. Wait, where am I? Oh, all DOJ memoranda, legal analyses, or recommendations shared with you, your legal representative, or any White House official from the filing of these claims through the present concerning the legal merits of your administrative claims, the applicability of the explicit prohibition on punitive damages under the FTCA, the constitutional implications of DOJ adjudicating claims filed by the sitting president under the Domestic Emoluments Clause or any other constitutional provision, the ethical propriety of DOJ political appointees who previously served as your personal attorneys participating in decisions regarding claims filed by you. Jesus Christ. That's right. All of his lawyers work at the DOJ now. Any conflicts of interest, recusal obligations, or ethics concerns related to the adjudication of your claims or any other blah, blah, blah. As all documents shared with you, your legal representatives, or any White House official identifying which DOJ officials have been assigned to evaluate or render final decisions on your claims, including the names, titles, and positions of all such officials, any recusal determinations made by such officials, and ethics. Oof. Hooty hoo hoo. Well, that should be fun. That should be good. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, gal. I spoke with a couple of MAGA people yesterday. Thanks to Lolo, I educated them on Peter Thiel. They had no idea who he was. There you go. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Tom. Let me move this over here so I can look at the camera and look at your beautiful. Your beautiful words. Um, how does House oversight work during a permanent recess? I mean, I saw there was some kind of hearing, wasn't there, in the last week or so? Like, at the Arby's down the street or something. I don't know. I feel like there was something. Yeah, we should watch V for Vendetta again. That was such a good movie. That could be the Saturday movie. I can get it. I can get a copy of it. Oomph. We could do that as the main Saturday movie, and then I know I have a few suggestions for the second film, so I'll put those out on Discord and check in with GP on the films and see if we can get them, because I would like to watch that again. I don't know if you guys would be up for that, but V for Vendetta really hit home big, man. When we watched it on Sunday, it hit home really big, really made me think. And I've seen that movie so many times, and yet it really hit different now. So, yeah, I mean, I would like to not be as hyperbolic about where we're going as I'm being. I would like to uh not be concerned. I wanted to have confidence in our election systems as a way to move. We should watch Schindler's List. No, I don't want to watch Schindler's List. I don't want to watch that. The movie is good, but it's so sad. It's just so sad. But yeah, maybe that will be the best movie to watch. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I think this is unlike any other. Well, it's unlike any time in history in our memories. I think, perhaps in past times, obviously there were authoritarian pushes, obviously, but I don't think we really, as a country, really understand uh, where where the um, where the lines are, and how many lines have been crossed. I'm listening a lot to the chuds who are at in Portland, which I probably shouldn't listen to, but I'm just curious about what they say. What's their hook? I already have enough nightmares, several a week, for being in Schindler's List that I couldn't. Yeah, I can't watch it. Yeah, I agree with you, Meowing Star. It's just too much. It's so sad, and it's all happening. Oh, speaking of sad, speaking of sad, hold on. I got my hardcover copy, which was cheaper than the paperback of the book I was talking about yesterday, which is One Day Everyone Will. Is this straight? Is this like not? This isn't like turned around, is it? Is that right? I think you can read it, right? One day everyone, yeah. One day everyone will have always been against this. And it's not a very long book. And I'd really like to read it in a lounge. Um, Maybe we could do an evening, because it's only like 180 pages. Do I want a cat? What do you mean? Do I want a cat? I have cats. Anyway, so this book, I'm really looking forward to reading this and understanding more about what's happening. So, oh, is it really this? That's right. He was an elevator company guy. That's right. I forgot about that. Totally forgot about that. You're trying to get rid of your cat. I didn't even know you had a cat. No, I don't want your cat. Sorry. Um, yeah, I would like to read this. I'd like to read this at like a bedtime, not bedtime story, because this isn't really like a bedtime story, um, but I'd like to read this at a different session and see. Anyway. Well, I think I'm going to stop there for now, and hope I can continue to work on my technology issues. See if I can get things hopping a little smoother. Identify the problem. Work on my keys. I really want to appreciate Bobo and my landlord for being so gracious and helping me with keys. I really appreciate that. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Actually, I'm trying to do morning shows on Fridays again. I don't know. I kind of miss it. It makes Friday night a little harder, but I think I'm okay actually. And then so tomorrow morning I will be live, and then tomorrow evening it's time for trivia. Hello, it's your trivia game. And so then we'll have trivia, and then Saturday night we'll watch movies, and I'll be in touch on Discord. So if you're not part of our Discord, make sure you're joining the Discord. I think for Halloween I'm going to be Tom Jones, and my wife is going to be Pussycat. What's up, Pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. The plowing match was fun. The ride in the cattle car was disturbing. What's that? Badger, I am not understanding. Yes, I love you too. All right, my beautiful lounge family. I love you very much. I will see you later. Let's watch Fight the Power and Win movies. Yes, let's do that. Let's watch movies that are Fight the Power and Win. That's right. Good idea. Good idea. Okay. I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna see you later. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to put the music on. Da 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 da. Yeah, Scooby Doo. Okay, for reals, I got it. Yes. Oh, Lee, stuff happening in Trade World. Can't wait. All right. Take care, you guys. Have a great Thursday. I'll see you later. Bye. Okay, you get no music. I don't know why, but you get no music. Okay. I don't even know what's happening right now. Nothing works. Okay, be safe out there. Yes. Be careful and be safe. All right. I do love you guys. I'll just do the outro and I'll talk over it. The music plays. No, I'll just talk over it. I'll just talk over the music. Let the music play. Here, I'll sing to you. Do 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 do. Thanks for watching. I really had a good time. It's gonna be okay. No, I don't know how, but I think it's gonna be okay. Don't worry. We're gonna have a good time, even while we're having bad times. And we just have to make sure we take care of each other. Eat chicken tacos. Have a great day now. And make sure you have good media literacy. Do, do, do.